All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This is Brother Shamgar, and as you can see, the lesson is titled, being an example unto the flock, right? This is necessary, right, because no matter where you're at in your walk, whether you're a month into, couple years, 10 years, wherever you at in your walk, it is necessary for you to be an example unto the flock, a great example, right? Because personally, let's look at it from a carnal aspect, right? A brother may come into the truth, and he might not had a conversation with you. He may be a friend on Facebook or Instagram, or he sees you on YouTube making videos, whatever, right? He doesn't know necessarily how long you've been in the truth, right? So he may look up to you, right? And he may perceive, okay, this brother's doing that. Well, let me follow that. He seems like, the spirit is dealing with him, right? So this is why it's necessary for you to hold yourself diligently in this faith of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right? Because you don't want to cause your Akim or Akwatium to go astray, man, right? So let me get straight to the scriptures with this, man, right? I'm gonna get I'm already there. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 11, right? Let me get this in the KJV. It says, "These things command and teach," right? This is what the Apostle Paul is saying. Let no man despise thy youth, right? So just because you're young, right? And it also too, just because you just coming into this truth, it don't mean that you can't go ahead and try to break something down, especially if the Most High has revealed a certain thing unto you, right? Now, of course, you want to come in going into the milk, right? You want to desire that sincere milk when you first come in, but don't let no man despise your youth carnally, right? Because you're young, right? You may be in your early 20s, you may be 18, 19, wherever, right? Don't let no man despise your youth because you young. How you gonna teach me the Bible, right? And then also because you earlier in this truth, you may have 3 years in where another brother might have 12, and he feels as though you can't tell him a damn thing. That's not good. So it says, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers, right? So this is what Paul is exhorting us to do. Being an example unto the believers in word, right? So what you say in your conversation, so your behavior, charity and spirit and faith and in purity, right? So all these things, you want to be an example unto the flock, right? And we should consistently try to strive to do these things, right? So let me keep going. Verse 13 says, till I come. So this is not just a one-day thing. This is not just for a couple months, maybe a year or two, then you fall off. No. This is something that we have to continue to do, right? So like it says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, and to doctrine. So meaning what? We got to constantly be reading these scriptures, right? Revelation chapter 1 verse 3 says what? Blessed is he that readeth, right? So you want to be blessed. So you got to keep reading to exhortation. What I'm doing for you, Akim, Nakwatium, now, man, I'm exhorting you to stay in the faith, to be examples, to be good examples to the nation of Israel, man, right? To doctrine, right? So the point is, you want to give attendance to doctrine because you want to know the doctrine. You want to know how to rightfully divide the word of truth. You want to, you want to be able to defend the word. And if you don't know the doctrine, how can you do so, right? Verse 14, it says, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery, right? So when I read this in the NLT, it's going to say your spiritual gift, right? So let me just go ahead and get that in the NLT for you, right? Just so you can see. So 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 14, do not neglect the spiritual gift you received through prophecy spoken over you when the elders of the church laid their hands on you. So that's the point, right? When you have a spiritual gift, you want to give heed to that spiritual gift, right? Meaning you want to constantly refine that thing, right? You want to hone it. So I'm gonna show you exactly why, right? Go back to the KJV. So it says, right, so you don't want to neglect your gift, right? Whether your gift be exhortation or prophecy or whatever, the other spiritual gifts, right, that are out there, right? So it says, verse 15, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all, right? Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, right? So this is why it's very important to get that doctrine, and get that sincere milk when you first come in this thing, and get nourished up, right? To learn these scriptures, learn the breakdowns, different things like that, right? Continue in them, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee, right? So by me, right, giving attendance unto reading, exhortation, and doctrine, right, I'm not only trying to save myself, right, but what is Paul saying? He says, for in doing this, verse 16, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee, right? So you that's hearing this word right now, I'm trying to exhort you to stay in this faith, man, and to keep pushing, to keep being diligent, to be great examples unto the flock, to the nation of Israel, right? So I'm going to read 15 over in the NLT. Give your complete attention to these matters. Throw yourself into your task so that you, everyone will see your progress, right? So when you constantly, are given 110%, right, into the spiritual gift that the Most High is giving you, people going to start to see. People going to start to notice. Now, this isn't, you shouldn't make that your focus, right? Because you don't want to do you don't want to, give yourself over, it's like you don't want to try to improve your spiritual gift just so you can be seen through the eyes of men, right? But essentially, Paul is saying, people going to see that. They're going to see your progress. Hold on to that progress, right? That's a good thing. You understand? So you want to constantly try to nurture that spiritual gift that the Most High has given you, right? So I'm going to just further on with the lesson of being a good example, being a great example, Salakia, to the nation of Israel, right? So I'm going to grab 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 6, right? So as you can see, it says it's titled An Exhortation to Proper Living, right? And now, dear brothers, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 6, and now, dear brothers and sisters, we give you this command in the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, right? So this is a commandment, right? This is a command from Yahushua HaMashiach. Stay away from all believers who live idle lives, right? Who don't follow the tradition they receive from us. So the point is, right? You don't want to be associating yourself with somebody who's idle. You sitting around all day. You're not doing nothing. You're not being profitable in this truth. You're not trying to teach the word. You're not going out in the highways. You got to stay away from people like that, because what that shows is that they have a spirit of unbelief, and that's not a good example for the nation of Israel. Because say if everybody did what that man is doing or that sister is doing, how is that profitable unto the nation? If we're supposed to be looking towards the kingdom and trying to get up out of here, right, and preach the word into all four corners of the earth and then show the income, right, like it says in the book of Matthew, right? How are we going to do that if this brother or this sister, if this brother right here is being idle and not even teaching the word or exhorting or trying to edify or comfort you Akim and Akwatim through these scriptures, right? So it says, I'm starting halfway through verse 6, who live idle lives and don't follow the tradition they receive from us. For you know that you ought to imitate us. We were not idle when we were with you. So when we was rocking with you, right, we weren't idle, right? They weren't idle. They were doing the work, right? The apostles was doing the work, right? Verse 8, we never accepted food from anyone without paying for it, right? So yeah, so you got a lot of cats in Israel, right? That get up on some on a certain level, right? And then they become unprofitable, right? And that was already predestined. But they'll just try to eat off you, man, right? They'll just try to use you and abuse you. That's not being a good example into the flock, man, right? You just coming into this truth to just profit off brothers, man. Sell brothers all these different types of goods and everything like that just to make a come up. If that's your only MO, if that's your only thing, man, then you're not being a good example to the flock, right? It says we never accepted we never accepted food from anyone without paying for it. We worked hard day and night so we would not be a burden to any of you, right? We certainly had the right to ask you to feed us, but we wanted to give you an example to follow, right? So the point is, the apostles cared much more about just giving you an example, man, right? So that way, all right, we see how they rock. because this is how Israel is. Monkey see, monkey do, right? So it's the point is we see one brother doing this, so we like, all right, well, shit, I'm gonna do it too. And that's the point, man. You want to be in a good example into the flock, to the nation of Israel, right? Knowing how Israel thinks, man, right? So you see, they wanted to give us a good example. Verse 10, even while we were with you, we gave you this command. Those unwilling to work will not get to eat. So the point is, you're not trying to work, do this spiritual work. And then also, you're not trying to physically, go get your check and, make sure you got some money and stuff like that. Go ahead and take care of certain things, right? Because you don't want to be a beggar, right? Now, ain't nothing wrong with asking a brother for a little help every once in a while, right? If you need it. But the point is, right? If you're not willing to do the work, man, for the Heavenly Father, then you can't eat, bro. Straight up, that's what they saying, right? Verse 11. Yet we hear that some of you are living idle lives, refusing to work and meddling in others' business. So this is another thing. This is not a good example, right? I'm always in somebody else's business. Oh yeah, what's going on? Oh yeah, for real? Oh, for real? You know what I mean? Gossiping, being a talebearer, just being up in everybody else's mix, man. Me personally, I don't give a damn about, not saying what everybody else got going on, because I do care about the state of the flock, man. But what I'm talking about is, beyond certain things, like in your personal lives, I ain't tripping on that. I don't need to know all that. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got going on? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to stay focused, do this work, edify the sheep. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everybody cool, right? Make sure the Akim Nakwatim are cool. They tight. We can continue to do the work. All right, bam, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it really should be. Just keep it simple, right? It says, verse 11, I'm going to read it again. Yet we hear that some of you are living idle lives. So this already strike one, man, right? Don't be an idle. My grandma always used to tell me the devil, an idle mind is the devil's playground, right? Refusing to work and meddling in other people's business. That's, come on, man. You see what I'm saying? All right, verse 12. We command such people and urge them in the name of the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach to settle down and work to earn their own living, right? So yeah, man, make sure you doing what you got to do to provide for yourself, right? You don't want to just be sitting around, because honestly, if you always asking people for stuff like for this or for that, yo, bro, can I get? Listen, and you're just sitting on your ass not doing nothing, right? I can see if you was doing the work of the Lord, right? And you fully dedicating yourself to the work of the Lord, right? But you just sitting at home not doing nothing, not a damn thing. You see what I'm saying? And you not even trying to read no scriptures, go into no breakdowns, nothing, make videos, nothing, right? And then you always got your hand out. Come on, man, that's not a good look, right? It says, verse 12. We command such people and urge them in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach to settle down and work to earn their own living. As for the rest of you, dear brothers and sisters, never get tired of doing good, right? It says, take note of those who refuse to obey what we say in this letter. Stay away from them so they will be ashamed. Don't think of them as enemies, but warn them as you would brothers and sisters, right? So that's the point, man. Don't ever grow tired of doing good, right? I'm about to get this for you. Galatians chapter 6. Go back to the KJV. 6 verse 9, I believe. Yep. Galatians chapter 6 verse 9. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So this is why we got to continue to push, man. This is why we got to continue to be great and good examples to the flock and to the nation of Israel, right? So don't grow weary in well doing. I know sometimes it gets tough being vexed in this wicked society, right? Having wickedness all around you, having your enemies oppress you. I understand. It's tough, but don't grow weary, right? Because we're gonna get a reward if you faint not. You understand? And then if you faint, right? So I'm kind of going off. But if you faint, let me show you what's gonna happen, right? So this is why you got to continue to keep pushing, right? Where's Iraq? At the bottom. I forgot how they do it. Iraq chapter 2, verse 13, right? It says, "Woe unto you that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not." Right? So if you faint, man, and you grow weary and well doing, and you faint, man, right? That means you don't believe. You don't have faith anymore, right? Therefore shall he not be defended, right? So you're not going to be protected by the Most High and his holy angels no more, right? Like it says in the book of Psalms 34, I believe, verse 7, where it says the angels of the Lord encamp around them that fear the Most High. You understand? So, right, if you faint, man, you don't fear the Most High no more, right? Your strength is small, man, right? So that's the point. You know, you don't want to give up. You want to keep fighting to be a good example, right? And just to be profitable in this truth. And a part of being profitable in this truth is being a good example into the flock, you know, edifying the sheep, exhorting the lambs, right? Comforting with these holy scriptures, right? I'm going to get 1 Timothy. I'll go back to the regular Bible. My regular app. I'm going to get 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. Right, so 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This is true, saying, if a man desire the office of bishop, he desire for good work. So if you desire the office of bishop, man, meaning like you desire to be a leader in this thing, in this truth, right? A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. So right now, I know some people use this to say, oh yeah, see, man, you're supposed to have one wife, right? First off, everybody doesn't, obtain the office of bishop, right? So this is referring to somebody who is seeking the office of bishop, right? And then first and foremost, that husband of one wife is not even talking about an actual woman. It's talking about the doctrine, right? It says vigilant, sober, and good behavior, given to hospitality and apt to teach. So you have to be these things, right? So if you're gonna be a leader in this thing, this is how you must be, right? You got to be vigilant, right? You got to be seeing stuff. I got a brother in the truth. They say, man, don't nothing pass my eyes. You feel what I'm saying? And that's a good characteristic. That brother always seeing stuff. He always popping up at the right moment. You know what I mean? So that's a very good quality, right? It says vigilant, sober, right? Of good behavior. So you don't want to be, giving into much wine. You're always being drunken and doped up. You don't want that, right? Good behavior, given to hospitality, right? So you want to be hospitable, right? And apt to teach, right? So this, like a brother like that is always ready to go ahead and break something down for a brother. You know what I'm saying? Listen, brothers, hit me up if y'all need me. I'm here, I'm ready to teach y'all, right? Not given to wine, see, there you go. No striker, nor greedy of filthy lucre, right? So, you ain't desiring, all the wealth and riches of this world. You more so desire wisdom, right? So you're not greedy for filthy lucre, always trying to make a come up off somebody, different things like that. That's the quality of a great leader, right? It says, but patient, not a brawler, always trying to get into a mix, always trying to fight, man. Because then if you're a leader and you always trying to mix, you're going to get somebody on your squad hurt. You understand? And then if they see you acting like that, how the hell they thinking the same thing? This is why being an example unto the flock is such an important such an important thing, man. Right? It says not a brawler or covetous, right? Because the spirits that you have on you as a leader, right? The people under you, they're gonna pick them things up, right? And I believe there's a precept for that too. I forgot where it's at. As the officer, so is his men or something like that, right? So this is the type of spirit that you want to have if you're going to be a leader, right? It says one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity, right? It says, for if a man know not how to rule his house, how shall he take care of the church of the Most High, right? So if you can't even teach children, you can't even run your house, how the hell do you see fit that you're going to be a leader in Israel, right? Or a leader or a good example to the flock, right? Or to the nation of Israel, right? You understand? So it says not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride he fall into condemnation of the devil. Let me see more. We must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fell in reproach and sin. Yeah, so essentially I'm gonna just stop there, but that's the point, man. You want to make sure that you're being a good example unto the flock, to the nation of Israel, right? Because it's always somebody watching you, man. It's always somebody looking up to you, and you don't know. You don't know. And I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. There's always somebody looking up to you, right? Somebody over you may be looking up to you. You understand? So, like, in a way where what I say, they might admire something about you, right? Now, say you start going off it, it'd be like, damn, So that's the point, man. I'm not, I'm gonna just end off there in the spirit, but continue to live fervently, and be diligent in this faith. Don't have idle hands, right? Make sure you stay profitable. Make sure you stay diligent in this faith. So with that, man, I want to say Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, and Shalom to you, Akim and Akwathiam.